You're live. Hello, everyone. Happy Wednesday. Hello, Ashley. Hello, Carly. Hi, guys. Southside Jake, what's up? I just listened to your podcast, by the way, with Michelle. Loved it. Loved it. Everyone make sure you go listen to that later, but I'll tell you all about that later. Anyways, guys, episode 7. Can you believe this? I know I can't. I, again, did this as a way to keep my mind kind of in a good place during these crazy times. And, we're just going to keep doing it and we're going to keep it amazing. So I would like to know, what have you guys been doing to kind of make sure that your mind, body, soul is kind of like all being lined up and okay? For me, it's been making my bed every day. That's really helped me. Also, I'm continuing to do my hair and put my makeup on. I'm not curling my hair, but I am blow drying it. I am brushing it. Drinking a lot has helped Fran. Who else agrees with that? I don't know. Okay, guys, so I'm not going to cheers with you yet because Michelle and I are going to build a cocktail together. I'm so excited. So let me tell you guys a little bit about Michelle. Michelle was a former Division I volleyball player at Michigan. She is also a freelance sports reporter. You've seen her on the Big Ten Network for my Chicago people. You'll also recognize her from being the sideline reporter for NBC Chicago for the Blackhawks a few years past. And Michelle now has a podcast called the Michelle McMahon Podcast. And she's really big into a holistic lifestyle, and she is a mental health advocate. And I'm so excited to have her on. Debbie, I totally agree. Pure Barre has been my saving grace during all of this right now. So let me go ahead and have Michelle join. Again, learning this, getting better at it. I think I am. But again, we don't know. We don't know. Okay, waiting, connecting. Woo!
Hey, girl.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I went on a great walk today, and it was the most well-needed walk I've ever needed to go on.
Oh my gosh, being outside is so key right now. I went on a run today with my dog, and it was like, oh, the best.
Speaking of
totally
the boy, where is Mr. Maverick? I know he's got to be nearby.
He's at my parents' house, so I'm at my brother's, and he's staying with my my parents. One of the members in my household here doesn't love dogs, so I accommodate, which is heartbreaking. But I go visit him every day, and I take him for my little walks.
Oh,
but
good.
Usually he would be like literally curled up on a ball underneath my feet because he's just like my little shadow. I love him.
That Sunday is literally right at my ankles right now.
I know. I'll get my dog fixed through you. Oh, hi, buddy.
He matches in with the tile floor.
Him. He's so perfect.
He is perfect.
They're the best.
Okay, so we're going to make margaritas.
Yeah.
Okay.
My brother drank all my margarita mix, so
I know. So I told Michelle there were definitely ways where we could make this without. I am using Hornitos because it's the only thing I have in my house.
For me.
There we go. My favorite tequila though is Casamigos Blanco, George Clooney's tequila.
Ooh.
It's the smoothest tequila you'll ever drink in your entire life.
Okay. I've been into Margs lately. I don't drink a ton, but I've been loving my Margs. So this would be very important.
Okay, so normally I would build this with there's a pour spout, but I don't have that. So we're going to do it with a shot glass.
Okay.
So you're going to fill up the shot glass and do it like right on top or right by the glass. So you can just then pour it right in afterwards.
Okay.
So we'll do tequila all the way to the top in the shot glass and then dump it in. And then after you dump it in, just do like halfsies. So about like this much.
Oops. I just dumped the whole thing in.
No. Yeah. So it's going to be like 1.5 ounces. So like 1 ounce pour in and then another one.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, shoot, I've already failed.
No. You got it.
Okay. Oops. That's a full one.
That's perfect.
Oh,
Dump it in.
Dump it in again?
Dump it in again. Yes.
2? Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So I said simple syrup is good. I didn't make any. I'm using agave.
I have agave.
Agave. Perfect. Okay. So you're going to do it about like 3/4 of the way.
Okay.
So for anyone who, if you like it really, really sweet.
I don't love sweet. Should I do half?
Do half then. Yeah. If you don't like really sweet, do half. Okay. I did half. I practiced beforehand to make sure it was good. And
this is so helpful. I'm so grateful. Pour it in.
Yeah. Pour it in.
Okay.
And then do you have lime juice or limes? Okay.
Lime juice.
So you're gonna do 1 ounce of lime. I have limes, so I'm just gonna like squeeze them in.
What is an ounce? Is that about a shot?
About a shot glass, yeah. So
okay. Oh yeah, you said that at the beginning. Sorry, my brain isn't working very well.
It's okay. It's okay.
I said I don't drink much, but last night I did have some margaritas, and I'm like feeling it today.
Okay.
Okay, dumped it in.
All right, and then we're gonna end it with I have lime LaCroix or sparkling water, Sprite, water, and then just fill her up to the top.
I think I have, yes, sparkling water.
Beautiful.
Down here. I think it's still good. Yeah.
Oh, that's perfect. Okay. Yeah.
You fill it where?
Fill it all the way to the top of your glass.
Wow. I'm pretty pumped that I know how to make margaritas without the syrup.
And then just mix it up. So the agave might sit at the bottom, so you just kind of want to stir it and stir.
Okay. I feel like a scientist. A margarita scientist.
Margarita scientist. And then we will drink to that.
Yay!
Cheers!
I feel like yours looks way prettier than mine.
Let me see.
Cheers, sister.
You got it.
I tried to do the salt on the rim, but then it dripped down, and now it's just like a frosty, salty looking thing.
Ooh, that's good.
Is it good?
Yeah, it's good. I'm very happy. But I also do a dance when I drink.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's not bad.
And you have all of your ingredients at home. It's fantastic.
Wow. I wish I would have had you last night when we were scrambling for margarita mix. I literally should have reached out. I don't know what I was thinking.
Well, now you know, and now you already have your recipe, and you're all good to go, and you're going to be the margarita queen in your house.
That's right.
I love it. Okay, so I am so grateful that you're on. The universe was trying to get us to meet for like the longest time.
I know.
Like the longest time, and the timing was meant to be when it finally happened.
It really was. Well, let's talk about the drastic swing of events. I was like, December, I'm like, I'm so busy, and now I'm like, I've got all the time in the world. What do you need?
We got so much time. Yes. So the one thing that I really want to talk about, and one of the reasons why I love you, is you're such a big advocate for like mental health, and I just admire that about you so much. How are you kind of navigating these unknown waters and territories that we're all in right now?
Girl, it has been a freaking week. I'll be the first to admit that my emotions have been all over the place. But for me, the key has been to just give myself grace during this time. I think everyone is dealing with something, whether that's a loved one, whether that's a family member themselves. Like there's so much uncertainty across the board, whether it's unemployment for me right now. That is a huge stressor, but I'm trying to view it as opportunity in terms of just enjoying the pause and trying to reframe everything mentally speaking. But in the process of that, I'm trying to let myself feel whatever it is that pops up and to not label or judge whatever emotion it is that comes up for me that day. So I think it's a very fluid situation. I would say when it first came up, when I first got word that all my work was canceled last week or a week and a half ago, that was a different fluidity in terms of emotions. And I had to kind of manage through that and talk to my close people and the people that I trust and like let myself get it out. I mean, I cried every single day. I'm not a crier, but it was such a good release to just like not judge myself for feeling. So that was step one. And then as I kind of came to terms with the situation of what I could control and what I couldn't, that's a key factor to identify those things in your life.
Yeah, for sure.
Controllables are what are not. And a lot of this is out of my control and it's out of my hands. So I think that's where the reframe came into play of just what can I do now and every day to make myself in a good headspace, whether that's taking a walk outside or playing with my dog or my 2-year-old niece or dancing. I've been dancing to that freaking TV back there at my brother's house like a freaking lunatic, like just like doing things that spark a little bit of joy for me.
Yeah.
And coming back to those routines, and Epsom salt baths have been like my go-to, whether I'm having a great day, a bad day, anything in between. It's like my staple for the night.
I love Epsom salt baths.
Yeah.
What advice would you give to people? Because I think what I'm learning right now is there are two types of people I think that we're living in, and there's people who are very willing and forthcoming and like, this is what I'm struggling with. This is what I'm feeling. I realize that what I'm feeling is okay. But then there's the opposite of the people who are having all of these emotions that they don't even know how to process and how to even say them out loud. So for maybe those people who are dealing with all of the fear, the unknown, the uncertainty of things, what advice would you give them on how to maybe address what it is that they're feeling and helping them realize that what they're feeling is okay?
Yeah, I think that's a great question because everyone processes things differently. And for, you know, there's no right way to do this, right? There's no blueprint of like, this way is better than that way. Like my journey's been a little bit more public because I am in need of public help from the people that have followed me.
Right.
And that's an avenue for me to explore, and actually an act of vulnerability that I wouldn't have been comfortable with even a month ago when we were chatting. Not a place I would have wanted to go publicly of like, hey, I'm struggling, I need help. For those who are maybe more introverted, maybe don't want to express as much, or maybe are in a situation that they can't, just know I empathize with you because that's not an easy place to be, especially in a quarantine situation. Some people are stuck with people that would be the worst, most toxic situation for them to be stuck in.
Yeah.
And for those people, gosh, I don't even know if I have the best advice, but I think the more you can, you know, go inward, whether you're being external about it, internal about it, channel inward. What is it internally that you need? Like, how can you meet the needs of what your current situation is? And only you individually know that, whether it's going outside for a walk in complete isolation, getting away from wherever you're quarantined to process, to think through. Maybe it's journaling. That's a safe place to go, where you can grab a piece of paper and just write down everything you're experiencing, everything that's popping up for you. And that's an outlet where you don't have to talk to anyone. You can keep it private for you, because not everybody's going to want to be out there with what they're struggling with. And there's a lot to be unknown still. Like, there's so many unknowns, and that's the other challenge of like, how can you communicate what you need when we don't even freaking know what the heck's going on right now? So I think finding powerful tools that will help you shift internally. For me, it's also Epsom salt baths. I don't talk to anybody in my baths. I process. I read my books. I draw tarot cards. I'm woo-woo, as you know. I find ways to just check in internally to take that inventory. And if you're in a toxic situation, I would do everything in your power as much as you can throughout the day to just get away from that. Go outside, go for a walk by yourself, take a bath by yourself, find ways to just kind of, narrow yourself off into a corner and do it that way. Or maybe it is reaching out to one person that you feel really comfortable with, that you feel safe to express with, and a friend that you really trust and you can get it out, because I really do think that there is a connection piece that's so important. For me, it was finding my family. Like, I didn't want to be alone in Chicago. I had to get home to Michigan. Like, find a safe person. Like, I think it's very clear we can't do this alone. We can't do any of our struggles alone. So whether you're introverted, extroverted, find somebody that you truly, truly trust and invest some time and connection with them, because I think that could be a really uplifting experience.
Yeah. Even too, I know I saw someone on Twitter the other day said their way of getting outside was just by taking a drive. Like, they had a compromised immune system, but they're like, I still needed get in your car, drive around the block, and put on the radio and like listen to like what the message is that, the higher power is trying to send you through the radio. Like, who knows what it is. So you're also a very spiritual person, which I love. And on your first podcast, you had your friend on, Kelly Nash, and she had talked about how I don't remember the exact wording that she used, but she said she always sees feathers.
Yes.
Okay. So I always see dimes. And the story behind dimes is, so as you know, my family owns a bar. It was my great grandparents, but my grandparents I never got to meet. So it always made me really sad because they talk about them so much, and I never got to meet them. So I felt like when I finally got to bartend, it was my way of like connecting with them. And I'll never forget, a medium told my mom, when you see dimes, it's your mom, my grandmother's way of saying hello.
Oh, I love that.
So I was like cleaning a dish once, and a customer had just pissed me off. So I'm MF in the sink and I'm just like yelling at the sink. And then I go over to the other sink to clean it, and there are 2 dimes in the bottom of the sink.
Oh my
gosh. We have little weights. So I'm wondering, do you have anything like that on your end?
I totally do. I have a couple of different things that I think come from different people. But one I know for sure, a lion is my sign from my friend Mike. Actually, I don't know if you noticed in the coffee shop where we met, there was a lion sitting there too. And there's another one in the lobby.
I don't know. I'm going to have to go back. I don't think I remember.
I have to look at it. I'll send you a picture of it. But basically, so one of my best friends passed away, Michael Sadler. He was the former punter for Michigan State. It was a story that was widely covered. But beyond that, he was a close friend of mine from Grand Rapids, Michigan, where we both grew up. And he passed away at the age of 24. And that was right at the start of my broadcasting career. So while things were taking off for me in that way, I was barely home. I was traveling. I was in another state. And I was with him 5 days before the accident had happened. And it was in the summer too, before I was going back to North Carolina for my second year, what I thought was my second year with Fox Sports South. Anyways, long story short, it was just, that's what I guess broke me open in the spiritual path of like, okay, I need something a little bit deeper than what I'm currently, anything that was given to me from childhood to now. Like, I don't get this. Like, why are we here? I don't understand life's purpose. How could somebody like that die so young? Like, it just prompted all these deep questions within me where I was like, okay, like this is not what I thought it was. So I had to kind of rebuild my belief system from the ground up. At first, it was finding a way to connect with him some way, somehow, because I didn't believe he was just gone. Like, even if whatever you believe in, heaven, hell, whatever it is, like the afterlife of some sort, I'm like, okay, so where do they go? What does that mean? Is he around? Like, is it another dimension? Like, what is this? Like, what happens when you die? Like, these are things you don't usually think about when you're in your 20s. And so I connected, my mom actually noticed how bad I was struggling with all these questions and just like the emptiness that I felt of like, man, if this is all that it is, like, what am I missing out on? And so she was recommended that I talk to a medium, Patty, who became my spiritual advisor, so to speak. And so the first meeting I met with her, she told me things about my family, about me, my situation that nobody could have known. She told me that I was going to be covering football at one point. By the way, I was just doing hockey at that point. She told me that Mike was going to be with me. My first event happened to be at Michigan State, the school that he went to. And then there was a bunch of things like that my path is winding and very unclear. And it's kind of like a roller coaster. Like, nobody really knows where Michelle's going to go next. But it just like, she's like, you just have to ride with it. Like, he's going to be the guidepost like that guides you on your path. Like, just trust it. And like, when you see, she gave me the sign. She said, he will send you lions and or hearts. And I wouldn't be surprised if they came together. And she's like, look within like 24 hours of this reading to get that validation that it is from him. And she's like, if you come, don't plan how you're going to see it. You cannot determine the outcome of like, oh, I'm going to see it this, or it's going to be a real line. Like, it's just, she's like, just like take it for what it comes as. So I kid you not, I was back in North Carolina. I'll try to make this as short-winded of a story.
No, it's okay.
I was back in North Carolina and just like sad, like missing my friend, missing my family. I had no friends there. I had no support system. Great job, great people I was working with, just like didn't have the support system to manage a trauma that had just happened. So I'm sitting in this marketing meeting and I'm like, okay, first of all, I'm the on-air person. Just tell me what to say. Like, you don't need my opinion here. Like, I don't care. Just tell me, like, I'm good. You guys get paid to do this stuff. Like, just tell me. Yeah. And then sure enough, I won this Stanley Cup Bracket prize. I don't remember filling out a bracket, but they're like, Michelle, you won the prize. And I was like, cool. Like, what does that mean? They wheel in these prizes. Here's where the lion validation comes in. On the very top of this cart, there were 3 bags with 3 stuffed lions in them. The bags had hearts all over them. And the little stuffed lion had a little heart on his belly. And it was, there was no reason for it to be a lion. Our Hurricanes mascot was a pig. Like, I even like nudged my friend. I'm like, is that a stuffed lion in there? He's like, yeah, like, what's the big deal? I'm like, I was like, I'm like, is it a lion? Are we sure it's a lion? So sure.
Oh my God.
Like, you can't make that stuff up. You know, you can't. Whether it's just for me to feel better, but I swear to God, anytime I'm dealing with something that I'm like, oh, I want to rip my hair out, I always see lions. I walked into a very challenging meeting with somebody I will not mention. And right before I walked into that meeting, huge lion on a truck that's parked outside the building that is never parked there. But it's always like, hey, I got you. It's going to be okay. Like, don't worry. And every time it's always either like a hey be warned, this isn't going to be what you think it is, or like, you're on the right path. Like, I got you. So that's my story there. And I became a believer ever since. And I'm like, I saw lions on every corner. I see them every day, pretty much.
It's,
when I'm paying attention.
My mom calls them God wings.
Oh, I love that. Yeah, truly. That's exactly what it feels like. It gives me chills every time.
Yeah. And for me with the dimes, I'll always go through phases where like I'll get one every Saturday when I work, and then I won't see them, and I'm like, Graham, like, am I not doing something good? Like, why aren't you saying hi to me? Like, say hi to me. Come on,
yes.
So
I always ask. I'm like, I miss you. Send me something. Like, come on. When I was in Italy, I took a trip, an eat, pray, love moment, where I was trying to find self-acceptance within myself, and I was like, why not go to Italy by myself? That sounds good. I did half the trip with a friend and then the other half by myself, and every day that I was by myself, I saw a lion statue on every, like, multiple times a day. They usually come in threes.
Yeah.
Which was his number in football too, which is also ironic. So yeah.
That is ironic. So my one roommate said, I have goosebumps. Someone said my sign is bunnies. So if anyone else out there has those God wink signs, what are they? Mine are dimes. Michelle's are lions and hearts. Anna's are bunnies. What are everyone's? Because let's put them in the comments. I'd love to see them. So we're going to pivot a little bit. I want to talk about something you and I both love, and that's sports.
Yeah.
We love our sports. We're sad right now that they're not here.
Yeah, sports are canceled. What?
What are you most looking forward to seeing when we finally can see sports?
Oh gosh, I think just like the renewed sense of gratitude. I think everyone playing a sport, covering a sport, talking about sports will be feeling, expressing. That's like, I think butterflies. I always see butterflies too. I think butterflies mean transformation.
Yes.
Yeah, I think just that renewed sense of appreciation. You know, I think it's so easy as we go through life to take for granted of the things that we do on the day to day. You know, obviously you and I are very passionate when we're covering sporting events. Usually it's mostly always exciting for us, but there are some days where it's challenging. It's not always easy being a woman in sports. So there are some days where you're like, oh, I just want to throw in the towel. Like, I don't know if I can do this anymore. But the renewed sense of like, oh, just the escape. Like, that's why sports are so good. They're unifying, and it's just it's a powerful escape. Like, even my brother and I are sitting in the family room, we're like, God, I would just wish March Madness was on. You could just plug in and watch the passion of so many people. And that's, I think, really the renewed sense of gratitude, the renewed sense of passion. I think it's going to spark a lot of fire in a lot of these athletes who this has been taken away from them. So now they really, I don't think will take it for granted as much. Not that they do now, but from every level. I think I can think back of my Michigan volleyball days where there were days where I was like, okay, I would rather not go to practice today. But when you have something that's forcibly taken away from you, you're like, reality check, like, okay, wow, I really need to start shifting my mindset every day. So I think that's what I'm most looking forward to, is just that renewed passion and just like the gratitude, I think, from the fans to the athletes to the people covering it will have.
Okay. So when you finally get to go back and cover your first game, whatever it may be, what are you going to make sure that you do while you're there?
I feel like I'll give people hugs because it's been so long, and I know that's probably against journalistic protocol, but I don't care. Like, when I meet people in the industry and I build a relationship with them, I'm like, come bring it in for the real.
Yeah.
You know, I just feel like that human contact is so important, and just like, I don't know, I just, that's the first thing that popped to my mind. But I think also just like really connecting. I think that's something I enjoy doing anyways. That's always been a top priority for me, of when I can have that one-on-one connection with an athlete or a coach, or just that, you know, they have all of me in that moment, to be really present for those conversations, and to just ask them too. Like, I want to have some of these athletes on my podcast be like, dude, what was running through your mind when you were like, March Madness is canceled? Like, what? Yeah. But I think probably just hug somebody and just talk to people. Like, I don't know, human connection is so powerful.
Amen. Amen to that. All right. On that note, let's get into some rapid fire questions.
Woohoo!
Okay.
Let's do it. I'll get my mark.
Yes, everyone, really quick, drink up.
It's not bad.
It's not bad, right? It could be worse.
It could be worse. It could be a lot worse. I definitely botched the one with the margarita mix last night. Way worse than this one.
Well, you can just build it off of this, and you can kind of tinker and toy with it.
Yeah.
Okay, what's the craziest thing you've ever done?
Oh gosh, I have so many. I have so many experiences.
Your number
I mean,
one.
I could do a
The
whole
number
the
one.
craziest thing I've ever done. Can you give me a category like travel wise or like I mean, I have had crazy travel experiences. I'm trying to
Craziest travel thing you've done. Let's go with that.
Okay, here's one. I'll out of privacy for the NHL team that I that did me a huge favor, I will not say the name. But basically, this is when I was with NHL Network and I was working Monday through Friday, hosting a national show 4 to 6 p.m. Great, and then I was doing the BTN tailgate show Saturday morning from 10 to 12, and when you're in Central Time Zone, it's 9 to 11. So basically, I had to get on the last flight on Friday night to, this is not rapid fire. Sorry, I'm a talker. That's what I do.
It's okay.
So I had, this is a crazy story though. So I had to get on the last plane Friday night to get to freaking Iowa City. Okay. I'm in Secaucus, New Jersey. So I have to fly out of Newark to get to Iowa City. One of my planes gets messed up. I'm not getting to Iowa City, and I'm crazy, and I'll do anything to get to my work assignments. Well, I've learned my lessons here. But anyways, my flight gets canceled out of Newark to, it was connecting to Chicago to Iowa City. So I'm like, oh my God, am I going to have to drive 12 hours out of here?
I was just going to say, did you drive 12 hours?
Yeah, no, I didn't. So I looked at I'm covering hockey. It's the NHL now. So I'm looking at the schedule. I'm like, this team's playing the Hawks tonight, and they're in New Jersey. I wonder if they'd let me fly in their team plane and I could at least get to Chicago, then get a rental car and drive through the night to get to Iowa City. So I'm like, I'll shoot my bets. Why not? Reached out to the SID or the PR guy, and I'm like, hey, I'm in a pickle. My flight got canceled. It's the last flight out. I'm in the middle of a live show trying to organize this. I'm like, can I hop on the plane with you? I really got to get to this assignment tomorrow. They're like, let me run it past all like the other people. And they're like, yeah, sure, come on. So I went on the plane. Off to Chicago I went, got my little rental car, drove through the night, and I did the show the next day on no sleep. So I was probably not smart. I was falling asleep. I had to pull over a nap a couple of times. It was bad. It was really, I was crazy. I landed in Chicago at like 1 a.m. and then they kept, the other part was that they kept delaying my plane to Iowa City. So I was waiting on that to leave.
Right.
And then I had to get a rental car. So I left at like 2 a.m. and then I got there right around like 5:30 a.m. Took off my makeup from Friday, redid my makeup for Saturday. And it's a miracle that Michelle is still alive today. I think I'm on my like 10th life. I swear.
Someone said that's dedication, and that is so
This is why I had health issues, people. My adrenals were burned out. Okay.
Okay. What is the one thing you have always wanted to do?
Ooh, like ever?
Ever.
I wish I could be a professional dancer. Oh, Dancing with the Stars.
Dancing with the Stars. Okay.
Because I just want to dance, and I'm really honing my skills now in preparation if that ever happens. Okay. I don't know if it ever will, but I'm here.
It will. It will. What's the first thing you notice in a guy?
I have eclectic taste in men, safe to say. If you're into astrology, my Venus is in Aquarius, which means I'm like random. I'm like, oh, that's different. Let's try that one. Hasn't worked out well. First thing I notice, probably sense of humor. Like if somebody's funny or like they can laugh, I'm like all about that. I really gravitate to a sense of humor. But I'll say probably like feature wise, I notice eyes.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Coffee or tea?
Tea.
Biggest pet peeve?
Oh God. Gum chomping or loud chewing. I have that thing called misophonia where people, if they eat loud or like breathe loud or like do any loud unnecessary noises, I'm like, shut up, you're biting your fork, stop it. Or
yes.
Like anyone that's like this. I'm like, is that necessary? Do we need to be chewing like that? My brother tonight eating a sushi, I'm like, can you breathe through your nose and not your mouth while you're eating? Because he's like,
yes. Oh God,
yeah,
yes.
It's the worst. Okay, I'm really throwing him under the bus right now.
That's fine. Everyone who's watching, what is your biggest pet peeve? My biggest pet peeve is when people say they're from Chicago and they're from the suburbs. Biggest pet peeve. Yeah. Drove me crazy my whole life. So I want to hear what everyone's biggest pet peeve is. What is your favorite Christmas memory?
Ooh, that's a really good one. Favorite Christmas memory had to be, gosh, I wish it was gonna say like I got a puppy, but I never got a puppy on Christmas.
Me either.
Probably like just like I don't know. It's kind of general. We never had like these big moments, but I feel like just like having everybody together when it was like our immediate family when we were all young enough to still be in the Christmas spirit. And like I believed in Santa Claus till like 6th grade. My brother's a genius. He like tricked us every year.
Love
So
it.
probably, yeah, probably that has to be just like that camaraderie of just like being around family. And oh, we used to have a family Christmas party where all my friends and all of the families in the neighborhood came over. Actually, that was one of my last memories of Mike. So I'll say that one because he was always the life of the Christmas parties, and they have no longer existed after he passed away. So
Love it. I love that. Would you rather be Batman or Superman?
I feel like Superman.
Okay. What is your go-to karaoke song?
I like Mr. Jones by the Counting Crows. It's just
Okay.
classic. Really like to go for those high notes with this raspy voice of mine.
Love it.
Crackle on my way there.
What is the kindest thing a stranger has done for you?
Oh my God, everybody that's supporting me right now on my Patreon page, like I am blown away by like that is by far the nicest thing. I mean, I have friends coming out of the woodworks that are asking what I need and how to support.
Wow.
And then I also have people that I've never met in my entire life coming out of nowhere and just offering their words of kindness or just like, yeah, why I was such an emotional wreck the last week because I just like, I haven't been good. I've always powered through and handled things by myself and never asked
Yeah.
for help when I needed it. And that always was the strong one in my family, never
Mm-hmm.
showed emotion, just like, I think a lot of people can relate to that as an
Yeah.
athlete.
Yeah, of course.
But really, this last week has been profound in the kindness that I have received, and I'm broken wide open. Like I have never experienced the level of kindness that people are showing me, and just, yeah, I like was brought to tears every day when somebody would send a message or a donation would come through, and I'm like, I literally had no expectations in even starting that, and just the amount of people that have come through and just sharing their experience of, hey, this happened to me once when I was this, as you know, sharing their experiences of like being unemployed and being at the bottom and the rock bottom, and to experience that as like something that when you experience it, like you will pay it forward the rest of your life because of this experience. And I know that's how I feel.
Yeah, that's amazing. What is the best piece of advice that you've been given?
Greg Harden, my mentor from the University of Michigan, gave me so much good advice. But the one biggest takeaway that I come back to time and time again is self-awareness is your power. If you can identify your strengths better than anyone else, as well as your weaknesses, to be fully self-aware with what you bring to the table and things that you can work on, that's your power. And do not ever give your power away to anybody else, to any circumstance. You are in control of you. The only thing that you can control is anything that's going on between the ears and in here. So that's your job. It's not other people's job to like you. It's your job to like you. And when you start to really like yourself and you step into your power, it might be triggering for other people that don't see that and don't see your heart, but that's okay. It's not everybody's job to like you. It's only yours.
Amen. Amen. Okay. Would you rather explore space or the ocean?
Oh, I love astrology, so part of me wants to say space, but I'm like such a water baby. So I feel like if I could be in a protected cage, I'm just really scared of sharks. So if I could be protected that way, I would do actually no space because I want to float and fly. But I do love the ocean. I'm gonna say space.
Space. Okay.
I want to check out Venus and Mars, see if the theory is right that girls are from Venus and boys are from Mars.
100%. What is your lifelong dream?
Oh, I think my lifelong dream is to live a full-hearted life that is fulfilling, one that has impact on others, one that strives to serve others in whatever it is that my gifts are here to provide, and to live in a space of full freedom and vibrance, whatever that looks like. I don't even have the definition. I don't know how I get there. I don't know what it is, but I want to live fully free, like internally and externally, and just make as big of an impact as I can.
Love it. Absolutely love it. Who would be your dream interview?
That's a good question. Dream interview. I mean, I feel like I would love to interview Oprah because I just love her.
Yeah.
I love everything. She's so full of wisdom. She's so woke. She's so love her, hate her. Like I feel like she's come into her own and is just so good in her own skin. And I love that she's been able to break through so many barriers as not only a woman, but a woman of color. And I just feel like she is so open to, open-minded to others. And I just love that she is a force to be reckoned with. And I think I would learn a lot.
I love that. Okay, oh no, if you were in a Pixar movie, because I know you want to do voiceovers one day.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Thank you for reminding me of that.
What sequel of a Pixar movie would you want to be in?
I feel like Frozen because it's already here, but that's maybe, hang on, let me think, because I'm a Disney connoisseur.
Yes.
What's that one movie? Oh, Brave with the ginger girl.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I feel like I would thrive in that role, or maybe I'd be like a little kitty cat or something. I wish I could be a dog, but I feel like I have more of like a cat, like a cat voice.
I don't know, guys. Do you think Michelle has a dog voice or a cat voice?
Yeah, can we take a poll real quick?
Let's take a poll.
This is what I'm trying to do with my life.
Dog or cat if she were to be in a cartoon, okay?
I'm taking acting classes. So.
I love it. I love it. You know, ask your acting coach. They might know.
You're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
Okay, who should my next guest be?
Ooh, who should your next guest be? I feel like you should chat with either Kelly Nash comes to mind because she could make a killer Marg. I feel like she'd be a great guest and she's so sweet. That would be my vote. I love Kelly. I have some, or Spice Adams would be a good one.
Spice is hysterical.
But if you want Chicago gals, Layla Rahimi's awesome. Shea Pepler, who's new NFL coach, NFL host. I wish she was coach. Laura Majera is awesome in the Chicago area. Those are a couple of ideas. You've got a good list to choose from in Chicago.
Yeah. Okay.
Just depends what you want.
Yeah, that's true. Honestly, I just want someone who's gonna bring a fun, just good conversation, and that's my biggest thing. I just love connecting, and again, my whole part of doing this was I'm like, I miss being at a bar and I miss having those conversations, and I get to have it with you and I get to have it with the people tuning in. Yeah. And I know everyone's saying they're voting for Susie to be my next guest, which would be terrifying.
Who's Susie?
Susie is a family friend who lives above the bar.
I feel like you have to do Susie.
Susie is Hollywood funny, like Will Ferrell.
Like Susie's in for the next guest.
Yes, Susie doesn't have Instagram, but we might have to create an Instagram account for Susie to get her on
here. You have to do Susie, the Susie upstairs or something. Make her like a
Susie upstairs. There we go. Okay,
it's perfect.
Yes. What's the first social activity you'll do when all of this is over?
Oh man, probably just like something super normal, like go out to a restaurant, or I don't really go out that much to bars, but I will actually travel. Like I love traveling. Get on an airplane, even though you can technically go on airplanes, it's not ideal, but travel somewhere warm and beautiful, maybe California, go to a restaurant with my friends, go to the beach, and just be normal. I just want to be normal again.
It's going to happen. It's going to happen.
I hope so.
Okay, so everyone raise your glass. We're going to end with a toast. We're going to end with an Irish blessing, even though we're drinking margaritas right now.
That's all right. We're Irish enough to be doing this. So
Exactly. So for each petal on a shamrock, this brings a wish your way. Good health, good luck, and happiness for today and every day.
Aww. Cheers.
I gotta drink this.
Thanks, girlfriend.
Thank you so much, Michelle. I appreciate it. Guys, everyone I think said dog, by the way.
Oh, really?
I saw a lot of dogs.
That's exciting. What kind of dog?
Ooh, guys, anyone's suggestion on a dog?
Golden retriever.
That's what I was thinking.
I feel like I'm a golden retriever.
I really feel like you match Maverick. I really do.
I know. I feel like he's starting to look like me, or I'm starting to look like him. One of the two.
It could happen. All right. Well, Michelle, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Guys, stay tuned. But Michelle, I'm going to let you go, and we'll talk soon, okay?
All right. Bye, girlfriend. Thanks for having me.
Bye. Thanks, babe. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Michelle was great. I hope she gave you guys a little bit of a spiritual understanding, a little bit of a mental health understanding during all of these kind of crazy, crazy times that we're in. Cocker Spaniel from Lady and the Tramp. Jillian, you are right. She's like Lady. She's like Lady. Oh my God, I love it so much. Okay, so I think there's a question on here. Again, I'm still trying to figure this out, so let me see if that's what this is. That's a stupid question. I know I'm not supposed to say that, but that's a really stupid question, so I'm not even gonna say what it was because it was just stupid. All right, guys, I can tell you who tomorrow night's guest is. I am so friggin' excited. It is Brian Luce. Brian Luce is tomorrow night's guest. So for a lot of you people, you know Brian from the neighborhood. Brian is a through and through neighborhood guy. Brian is also the technical supervisor for Chicago PD. And it is my favorite show on TV. It is the hit drama for NBC on Wednesday nights, which I actually need to go watch soon. But I'm so excited to have Brian on. Brian is a ball buster extraordinaire, and I know he's going to bring us a lot of laughs, and he'll be a riot. And I think he's exactly what we all need right now. So make sure you tune in tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. And I guess we will go ahead and wrap it up. I don't want to leave, but again, I got to leave you guys wanting more, okay? I got to leave you guys wanting more. And Sunday, I think, is staring me down because I think he wants to go upstairs. So, guys, thanks again for tuning in, and I'll see you tomorrow. All right, have a good night, guys.